Listen to me. I need you to hear me loud and clear right now, because if you are retired, or you are getting ready to step into that beautiful next chapter of your life, and you are thinking about starting that dream cafe, that cozy little bistro, or that food truck you've been talking about for years, you cannot afford to waste your hard-earned retirement money. Every single dollar you save took sweat, discipline, and time. You do not have room to throw away cash on technology that does not work together, period. So, you are asking a very specific, very critical question today. What devices are actually compatible with TouchBistro? Can we talk about this? Because people make massive, costly mistakes right here at the starting line. They buy a bunch of shiny gadgets on sale at a big box store, bring them into their new spot, and then realize none of it talks to each other. Now your capital is trapped in useless plastic, and your blood pressure is through the roof. We are not doing that. Not on my watch. Let's get right to the core of what TouchBistro runs on. First and foremost, TouchBistro is built exclusively for Apple. Read my lips. Apple iOS. If you are sitting there thinking, well, Susie, I have a cheap Android tablet I bought 3 years ago, or I have a Windows Surface laptop, can I just download the app on that? The answer is no. No. Do not go buying Android devices thinking you are going to save a quick buck. TouchBistro will not run on them as your main point of sale. Now, let's talk about iPads, because not just any iPad will do. TouchBistro runs on modern Apple iPads. If you have an old iPad sitting in a drawer from 10 years ago, an original iPad, an iPad 2, 3, for an older iPad Air, or an old iPad mini 1 through 4. Stop right there. TouchBistro does not support those legacy models anymore. Why? Because they don't have the memory, the processing power, or the operating system capabilities needed to handle your orders, your credit card processing, and your inventory in real time. What should you get? You want current generation iPads. A standard current generation iPad, an iPad Air with an M-series chip, or an iPad Pro. That is where your money needs to go if you want a system that is snappy, reliable, and won't freeze up in the middle of a Friday morning rush. And here is a major tip. You do not need to blow your savings buying 512 gigabytes or a terabyte of storage. TouchBistro recommends the base storage model. As long as you keep that iPad dedicated strictly to running your business and you aren't loading it up with personal movies and games. Now, what if your dream is a bigger setup? What if you have a full-service restaurant with 10 tables, a bar, and 4 different servers taking orders at the same time on separate iPads? Listen to me very carefully right now. When you run a multi-iPad system, those iPads have to talk to each other so orders don't get lost. For that, TouchBistro requires an Apple Mac Mini. The Mac Mini acts as your central local server, the brain of your entire operation. It sits quietly in your office, holding your data, syncing every single ticket across every tablet in the building, even if your internet temporarily flickers out. Do not try to skip the Mac Mini if you are running a multi-terminal restaurant, or your network will break down, and so will your sanity. Let's move on to printers and cash drawers, because this is where so many people throw good money after bad. You cannot just plug in any random home printer you bought off the shelf. TouchBistro requires specific industrial-grade receipt and kitchen printers, primarily made by Star Micronics. For customer receipts, you are looking at thermal printers like the Star Micronics TSP100 series or the MC Print 3. For the kitchen, where it gets hot and greasy, you need an impact printer like the Star Micronics SP700 series. Why an impact printer for the kitchen? Because thermal paper turns solid black when it gets near a hot stove or a grill. Imagine your chef losing every ticket because the paper scorched. That is a nightmare you do not need. And how do these printers connect? Pay attention. They connect through hardwired Cat5e Ethernet cables plugged into your router. Do not rely on shaky wireless setups for your primary kitchen printer. Hardwire it. As for cash drawers, the rule is simple. TouchBistro uses printer-driven cash drawers, like the APG Arlo. That means your cash drawer plugs directly into the back of your receipt printer using a specialized cable. So when you hit cash on your iPad, the receipt printer signals the drawer to pop open automatically. What about card readers? TouchBistro integrates directly with approved payment processing terminals. Do not buy a random standalone card reader online without checking compatibility first, because if it doesn't integrate, Your staff will have to manually type dollar amounts into 2 separate machines for every single customer, opening you up to massive human error. Here is your ultimate actionable takeaway. Before you spend a single dime of your retirement nest egg on hardware, write down every piece of equipment you already own or plan to buy. Check the model numbers directly against TouchBistro's official certified hardware compatibility list, or have their team verify it in writing. If you already own compatible iPads, great, you can use them and save cash. But if you need to buy new, buy the right Apple devices and certified Star Micronics peripherals from day one. Protect your money, protect your peace of mind, and set up your new business to thrive. You've worked too hard for this retirement. Now go out there and build your dream the smart, secure way.